You wake up, it's 11 a.m., far past the time that you wanted to wake up, but you were kept awake by the dreadful anticipation of going on the gym date you said you would never go on. And on your way out, he says to you, "We should go do cardio at my place. We're gonna have to be quiet though, my mom's home."
So the women are like, a man not paying for a date, a man not doing low effort dates, typically is a red flag because those men exhibit certain behaviors. And then you guys try to shame them and say, oh, you guys just in it for the money. You just want to use me for a meal. Why am I putting right? And then the women take the chance to date this man and you see how it ends up. And then you go, you should have chose better. I keep seeing this dumbass like prompt where it has like a picture of like a husband and a wife and kids, and they're all like cooking together. And it's like this, like the setting is like from the 1950s, and it says something stupid like, imagine how much propaganda it took to convince women that, imagine how much propaganda it took to convince women not to like this or whatever. And every single time I see that prompt, I go on the lives and I tell the dudes, and I'm like, that's like, who propagandized women to not like that? Like, that didn't happen. What happened was that women just kept listening to the experiences of other women and comparing notes between the experiences that they had with men. And eventually that led them to the logical conclusion that like most of these relationships aren't worth being in, and men are extremely selfish and problematic. And the men are like, no, that's not what happened. And I'm like, no, that's like exactly what happened, right? But I find it funny because I constantly come across like a ton of like horror stories essentially from women, and women are just like sharing their experiences. And I'm like, yeah, no, they got it right. Like what they're saying about me, like it's right. I'm like, this right. How are you gonna deny that this is what's going on? You know you're a man, you know how men act, you know how weird we are. Like, you can tell when you listen to the story that what that woman is saying is true. I listen to men make up fantastical lies about women all the time. And it never jives with my experience. Now, that doesn't mean that I've experienced everything, because I haven't, obviously. But it's not even in the wheelhouse of the things that I've experienced from women. It's not even stuff that I've seen other people experience from women. It's like, wow, you went through that with a woman? I've never seen that before, right? The things that women say that men do, I'm like, nah, I've either done it, thought about doing it, or seen other men do it. Like, I promise you, like 99% of the time, I'm like, yeah. And it may not be an exact one-to-one, but just in the same vein, I'm like, yeah, no, I can see that. And then you couple that with how men talk about women, I'm like, yeah, no, that I can completely believe this is true. This story, if you're like, as a man, this should be like I can close my eyes and I could almost smell what the gym smelled like. I can clearly see exactly what she's talking about, like how it happened. I can talk about why it happened. I'll get into the why, after, as we watch the video. But like, this, women aren't propagandized to believe that relationships with men are not worth it. They are going through it. We can't even get past step number one, which is like a first date, let alone a marriage.
And trigger warning, you wake up, it's 11 a.m., far past the time that you wanted to wake up, but you were kept awake by the dreadful anticipation of going on the gym date you said you would never go on. But in the effort to find your forever gym partner, you decide to step outside of your comfort zone, keeping your expectations low, but your hopes high. You do your morning routine, you have your breakfast, you do your skincare, you do your makeup, pick out an outfit that you feel the best in, and then he texts you, "You ready?" Question mark. You say you're on the way, and once you park, you call him to ask him where he is. He declines the call and instead texts you, "Walk up, I'm inside." So you walk into the gym that you've never been to. He looks at you up and down and says, "Big breakfast, I see." And so you both walk up to the front desk. He says to the front desk lady, "Hey, beautiful, my buddy here needs a day pass." He looks at you and says, "It'll be $30. So you pay the day pass fee and you guys start stretching together. He asks you what you're hitting today. You say glutes and hamstrings.
So before we go further, listen to the connection, right? between the unintentionality and the way that he treats her. Nothing is intentional, right? He was rude, all of that stuff, right? Also, he didn't pay for the pass. $30. Y'all be up here talking about going on coffee dates. Coffee dates are $30. Paying for a date, but that's a cheap date. $30 a cheap date. He couldn't even do that. It's already bad enough he convinced her to go to the gym, which is a terrible first date if you ask me. I don't even care if you love the gym. It's a weird fucking first date. But anyways, he convinced her to go on the first date to the gym. Cool. But he wouldn't even pay for her day pass. He called the other woman beautiful in front of her. Just utterly disrespectful. And this is what women are saying about not wanting to pay for first dates, to pay for dates early on. They want the man to be intentional. Like, it is all connected to more problematic behaviors. It's never isolated. It's never like they just don't pay for the date, but they're perfect gentlemen and they treat the women good. Like, it's never that. It's like these men, they all follow a certain behavior pattern, a certain pattern of behaviors. And this is it. Like, listen.
Front desk lady, hey beautiful, my buddy here needs a day pass. He looks at you and says, it'll be $30. So you pay the day pass fee and you guys start stretching together. He asks you what you're hitting today. You say glutes and hamstrings. He says, typical. You ask him if he wants to join. He says, I don't do that gay shit. And before you can ask him where the machines that you require are in the gym that you've never been to, he skirts away and starts doing his own thing. And he's high-fiving and grunting with his boyfriends, keeping his eyes glued to every single ass that isn't yours, looking back at you judgingly with his friends as you walk around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to figure out where all the machines are. And after a very long and painful workout, he says, let's go into the posing room, hands you his phone on negative 1.7 exposure on the 0.5 lens, and does a whole Breathe Divinity performance for you for a course of 30 minutes. Your pump is now gone and you're ready to leave. You say, I don't need any pictures today, not that you'd even bother to take them, let's just go. And on your way out, he says to you, we should go do cardio at my place. We're gonna have to be quiet though, my mom's home.
What? Not he lived with his mom. I'm just saying, fellas, it's stuff there. There's stuff there, man. Y'all want to get mad. Y'all want to make up all these excuses. It was a date from hell, but it started with him being unintentional. I swear to God, he wouldn't. I almost guarantee you, he wouldn't have acted like this if he had paid. I'm not saying that's a cure. You can have a bad day. I'm just saying it is less likely that had he actually planned out a date that he thought about, that he took the time to plan out, picked her up, you know what I'm saying, bought her flowers, dressed the part, took her to the place, spent the money, the likelihood that he would have been this disgusting is lower. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. These, like, the men who do this and their behaviors, you get a glimpse into the type of people they are, right? So you want to blame women for choosing poorly, but then you also want to blame women for rejecting things that they know or believe to be red flags. You see what I'm saying? Like, so the women are telling you, yeah, the men that are unintentional, they tend to be like this. Like, they tend to treat us crazy. Listen to what I'm saying. Whether the man pays or not, more than likely he is going to be a weirdo. He is going to, like, I'm just being real. More than likely he is going, but it's not going to be like, it's not going to be this bad, usually, right? This is all about odds. It's not about absolutes. I'm not saying that none of these men are bad and none of these men are good. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the odds are, right? So the women are like, a man not paying for a date, a man not doing low effort dates typically is a red flag because those men exhibit certain behaviors. And then you guys try to shame them and say, oh, you guys just in it for the money. You just want to use me for a meal. Why am I putting right? And then the women take the chance to date this man and you see how it ends up. And then you go, you should have chose better. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it is ridiculous. It is lunacy. That's all I'm saying. This man was, let me tell you why he did this, right? What I believe. So he is a numbers guy. He is just all about putting numbers on the scoreboard, meaning he just wants to collect bodies. He wants to sleep with as many women as he can. And he invites out a ton of women. He probably is really buff and fit, right? And there's probably a lot of women, enough, I would say, that fall for this. And it's just a numbers game. He invites them out. If you come, out of the 20 he invites, 10 come, and he sleeps with 3 of them. Low effort. That's it. It's nothing for him. He was going to work out anyway. It's a win-win for him. It's a win-win for him. That's where he's getting that from. Obviously, he doesn't have any respect for women. He's probably, into these like homosocial relationships with his friends. Cause like she said, he's like high-fiving with his buddies. He's doing all of this to be seen as the man in front of his buddies. She's not the first woman that he's invited to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So all of it goes, it's him, blustering and bolstering for his friends to appeal to other men and appeal to the male gaze, right? Pun intended, no pun intended, either way, doesn't matter. But, and that's what all of this is. That's where it comes from for him. That's it. It's super easy, right? He's immature. He doesn't have any money. He doesn't have any resources. And these are the men that be online screaming about women using us for our resources. You don't have any. Women are gold diggers. You don't have any gold. You live with your mother. I've seen this. I know this guy. I know this guy. I've seen this guy 1,000 times. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, it sounds crazy when she tells a story, and she's a great storyteller, and a part of it is that. But men are like this, y'all. Men are like this. And that's why women, when they hear this and they compare notes between their experiences, this woman's experiences, and the next woman's experiences, they go, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. I don't want a low effort date, and I don't want to go to the coffee house, and I don't want to show up to the gym. And he burned it. Now she is forever scarred. She's never going on another gym date with a man. I'm talking about early on. I'm sure once she started dating a man, it would be different. But she's not going on a gym date with a man. You know what I mean? Like, and y'all, and instead of y'all like blaming the men for traumatizing the women, you're gonna try to gaslight this woman and say, "Don't make your past your present," and all of that stupid ass shit. Like, she would be an idiot to go out on another date with a man that followed the same pattern. But I'm not him. You're 99% him. Walks like a duck, talks like a duck. Is probably a motherfucking duck, bro.